As a Scorpio rising, I feel it can be very tough to be one. I am one myself, and someone with lived experience, you can say. However, I'm actually so grateful to be one. And in this video, I just want to highlight and also share my own personal experiences. And I've also um, wanted to share like how other people in my life who are Scorpio risings themselves, how they feel about being a Scorpio rising or having their ascendant in Scorpio. So, first of all, how can I discover or find out whether I am a Scorpio rising? Now, for the ascendant, you need your exact birth time. So it's not only enough to know where you were born or your birthday. And usually, so it says ASC if you open and click on the birth chart and it pops up. So it's on the horizon and on the left side. And then, yeah, you have to be really, really careful how it's positioned, and you have to make sure that it's really exact on the horizon. Look where the sign is, and then it tells you which rising sign or ascendant you are. So mine is in Scorpio, and it's in the first house with the moon in the first house, which makes it maybe even more intense, more darker, why it maybe even strengthens, or why maybe the relationship with my mother and my feelings can have such an influence over my life. And as a Scorpio rising, if you look and you browse around on the internet, it is considered apparently to be the most difficult but also the strongest. Why? Now, now this is very it can be biased, but I believe that as a Scorpio rising, there's always this urge to live on the edge. And when you live on the edge, it's not easy. It's not going to be an easy ride, but it comes with many rewards. It comes with many lessons and gifts. Usually, um, that's how I believe. If you are given challenges in life, it's because you can handle them. Doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to handle them well or with grace. It might actually be a catastrophe, or life feels like a catastrophe, or is a catastrophe, but they're there for a reason, whatever reason. And I don't even have to be religious about it, but there's a reason why you have these kind of challenges. And if you're Scorpio rising, the goal or the aim is to rise above these challenges, to transmute them, to alchemize, do something with that material, do something with that trauma, something with that experience, do something with it. And I've noticed also Scorpio risings that have like sharp features. When I look at myself in the mirror, it's really funny. I feel like my face looks a bit more sharper, but here on the video, it's like rounder. But I think it has something to do because I'm a sun in Cancer, and um, my moon is in the first house, and my moon is conjunct the ascendant, so it makes my face rounder. Um, Also, it is very common that your appearance changes. So I feel like 5 years ago I look so different than today. Actually, I was sharper and my face more not so round. Yeah. Um, Scorpio risings have to be really, really careful when it comes to battles, like which battles to choose. They should not choose every battle they encounter. They should be selective. Obviously, there are battles that they don't recreate because maybe they have an enemy, or people are not nice to them, or people bully them, or they experience some kind of abuse or trauma in any type of form. And some people, when you tell them I'm a Scorpio rising, they're like, tough, tough. Did you have a tough childhood? I wouldn't say it was tough. It was not easy. It was difficult. Like, and for some people that can be something more emotional, whereas other it was more life circumstance. I always felt that it was very, very emotional. Yes, there were also circumstances which were not maybe easy. You're not someone who likes small talk. You're someone who craves intensity, which can be good and bad at the same time. And therefore, I think it's so important for Scorpio rising to find outlets to ground them, find outlets that helps them to release that kind of energy or pent up energy. And because as soon they do sport or this kind of release, they just feel better. And life changes, it has that pattern. So it's possible that in 2 years I'm gonna look again different. Um, Um, Scorpio risings are also called like the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Um, they tend to be loners. They tend to be misunderstood. It's often the child or the teenager who walks alone around the corridors, which I was myself. And it's it is though, and I have a huge respect for other Scorpio rising things. As soon as that experience is over, or that trauma, or that whatever it is that really, really hurt you or destroyed you, it's amazing how you can still wake up every day and still live your life. And that's the beauty. Like, despite your experiences, you're still able to live your life. And there's so many Scorpio risings out there. I've heard like their stories, and they still wake up, they still do their thing, whatever that thing is. Because I think the reason we were born or built for this is because life is too short, and we know, like I said in the beginning, we want to live life at the edge. And by just mm, wallowing, which we do as well, in that kind of pain or trauma or past experiences, we we don't grow. So we have to continue every day as if it's maybe the last. It feels often. So my motto is like it's like suck the marrow out of life. So it's a quote from that poet society. And that's met Robin Williams as a teacher, and it's so inspiring because if you suck the marrow out of life, you try to live life to the fullest. So yes, that is the more jovial carpe diem, but it also reminds you how short life is, and that life is also full of nonsense. And I think one tip, if I would have to give one tip for Scorpio rising things, is to actually find some kind of humor, laugh, and be ridiculous, because we all know what pain is, but we also have to learn that life is beautiful as well, and also has its good sides, and that not everyone is out to get us. So it can make us also suspicious. Um, our instinct, we're really like blessed with good intuition. We also have these kind of psychic gifts, and they come in different forms and disguises. It's very and it also, I would say, when it comes to relationships and partners, it helps to have a friend or partner, husband, wife, or father, mother, whatever, who is a Scorpio rising, because that person understands you. So even if you don't have the same sun sign, if you have the same rising sign, it can be beneficial. And I would say, particularly for Scorpio risings, two Scorpio risings doesn't mean necessarily that it's all going to be dark, because I would say that usually from what I've said, there is a lot of support and mutual respect, and it's invaluable. And I also want us to end this video with something hopeful. So, yes, it is tough to be a Scorpio rising. Usually it is tough. I don't know any Scorpio rising who had a very easy life, but it is not for the faint of heart. Uh, There are days, moments, phases, years maybe even, where you feel like, how will I get out there and have a good message with someone who's been there? When I was in high school, I thought like, I don't know whether life will ever get better, but it got better as soon I finished high school. And although I also had terrible experience after high school, but it made me realize that everything has an ending and life can get beautiful again, whatever that is. So, um, don't give up, continue if it's persevere. And then when that experience is over, you realize, especially many years later, like, wow, I've come here. I made it despite, and that's something you can share with other people, um, transmit or teach. Um, so yeah, share that knowledge, share that wisdom, and always stay true to yourself and always remain an amazing Scorpio rising. Have a lovely day. Bye.